Hello, everyone. My name is Sarah McLean, and it is the 15th of March, and I'm speaking to you from Santa Barbara, California, where I am so lucky to be sequestered. And I think wherever you are, you're pretty fortunate. Most of us who are on this call are lucky enough to have internet service. We can see and hear. We probably have a comfortable, sheltered place to be. And so right off the bat, we all start out with being very fortunate. I know it's a time of great chaos and confusion for many of us. And I know it's an opportunity for us to get together in this way. I feel extremely grateful for the fact that we can be on a call together. And even though we're physically socially distant, I feel very connected to you emotionally and spiritually, and my heart is wide open to be with you. And we're so lucky to be able to have this technology. This is a beautiful use of technology and a mindful use of technology to create community. Many people are isolated during this time. They're afraid to go out, or they've self-isolated because they have a compromised immune system, or they can't get out for one reason or another. And this is a beautiful way to connect. And we'll be doing this for the next couple of days. I'll probably continue it if we keep on having a good turnout. Even 2 other people will be great. And feel free to share the links with your friends. But you know, some of you know a little bit about me. I'm not going to go into too much about it, except for I can share with you that I have devoted most of my life to the contemplative practices of mindfulness and meditation. And not only was I the program director for Deepak Chopra's center for many years, I'm a Hay House author, but I think what's really informed me the very most is my time living in a Zen Buddhist monastery. I took the vows of a Buddhist monk and a Buddhist lay monk, and I really relished what I discovered. You know, Buddhism is pretty stripped away of dogma. It's pretty stripped away of I have to say imaginings. But what I learned is very fundamental, and I want to share it with you right now. They talk often in Buddhism, whether it's Zen Buddhism or Tibetan Buddhism, whether it's Hinayana or Mahayana, and you don't need to know any of that. What they share is that there are 3 jewels to the practice. And whether you're a meditator or not, these are 3 jewels that every one of us should be sure that we have. The first jewel is knowledge. Where do you get your knowledge? What teachers do you love, whether it's the Buddha himself or Jesus, or Wayne Dyer or Louise Hay or Deepak Chopra, or your next door neighbor or your grandmother or your kids or your friends? So the first leg of the stool, or the first jewel, is knowledge. And actually they're all 3 important. So it's not first, it's just one of them. Is where do you get it? Where do you find it? Some people would say knowledge is structured in consciousness. Knowledge exists in the depth of the silence that is living through you as you. But some of us need to be reminded about this knowledge. And in my world, I have a piano in the other room, and on top of the piano, I have a singing bowl. Some of you know what that is. It's a crystal bowl. And when I play a note on the piano, the singing bowl resonates at the exact same note, even though I haven't touched it. And that's the beauty of knowledge. Knowledge will help you to awaken to that which you already know, which is already inside you, like the piano key awakens the sound of the bowl. Second jewel, or leg of the stool, is your practice. Whatever connects you to that deepest part of you, that untouched or untouchable, essential, eternal, perfect, wise, clear, present, still, and awake part of you, which some people would call the Buddha. So the Buddha is a leg of the stool, the Dharma, or knowledge, of the leg of the stool. So going back to the Buddha is all about connecting to that which is looking through your eyes, connecting to that part of you that is essential, eternal, and is often not touched by disease, strife, changeable landscapes, hype, stress, anxiety, or fear. So whatever practices you can do to keep yourself connected to that true nature of yours, whether you call it your soul, your true nature, your spirit, your essential self, whatever that part is, that practice, and we're going to do some of that here in this call, is essential. So we've got the wisdom, we've got the practice, and the third leg of the stool, or the third jewel, is what we're all experiencing right now, is our community. And this gives me the perfect opportunity to talk about community. And community in the world of meditation and contemplative practices doesn't always look like the regular community you exist with. It's not the other parents that drive their kids to school. It's not the people at your work necessarily. It's not necessarily your family or your friends. A practice community is a community that supports you and your efforts to wake up to who you really are, to become clear and present, to become the center point of peace. That's the practice community. And we don't even have to know each other's names. We simply have to know that we're there. It's like, are you there? Yes. Are you there? Yes. I'm here for you, and you are here for me. And a practice community can be just who you're sitting with, who happens to be meditating with you, and you never even say hello. And it could be some group that you get together with on a regular basis. But those are the three jewels in Buddhism, and they're the three jewels, in my opinion, for every practice. So I want to thank you for joining us on this call and being really the essential part of it. So I want to share a little bit about who's here, just so you can have them in your heart and mind. We have someone from Toronto, Chesterfield, South Carolina, Stormville, New York, Kingston, Ontario, Canada, San Antonio, Texas, Phoenix, Arizona, Sedona, Arizona, Venice Beach, Cornville, Arizona, Maplewood, New Jersey, Tom from Michigan. We got another, hi Michelle from Sedona. Michelle's also a wonderful meditation teacher. Brittany, hi. She's a healthcare worker, and you know what, Brittany? Thank you so very much. You know, I was thinking, I was reading a Facebook meme, and they were talking about how the band kept playing when the Titanic went down. And it was a woman from the service industry, and it could very well have been someone in the healthcare industry, that they keep on going, keep on serving, keep on playing, even when the ship is going down. And that takes a lot of bravery and courage, takes a lot of selflessness. And thank you for showing up for the people who are in need, and for all healthcare workers. Hey, Barb from Michigan, and Heather from Richmond, Virginia, and Boise, and Salt Lake, and Possum Kingdom Lake in Texas. Hey there. And Eastern Canada, New Brunswick. Hello, Brookfield, Wisconsin, British Columbia, Denver, Colorado. Blessings to everyone. Colorado Springs, Walnut Creek, California, Buffalo Grove, Rochester, New York, and the Turks and Caicos Islands. And I'm so happy you're here. Wherever you are, there you are. Wherever you go, there you are. And many of us are staying put wherever we are. You know, in the Zen monastery, like in many places of deep, deep practice, we are sequestered. We are limiting our engagement. Sometimes we're in silence. Sometimes we're limiting our media input. And it's all for the purposes of finding that sanctuary inside. That sanctuary inside that is the wellspring of peace and possibility, which is the wellspring of wellness. Now, I was speaking earlier on the other call about what are some keys to keeping your immunity high and keeping your mind at ease. And one of them is to be more mindful and to become mindful of what you're paying attention to and how you're paying attention. You know, you are, according to ancient Ayurveda, the science of life and longevity, quite often they say perfect health is through perfect digestion. We tend to think of digestion as what we eat and how we process it, extracting nourishment and getting rid of toxicity. But what if you expanded your sense of nourishment to include that which you allow in through all of your senses, what you smell and taste and touch, what you see and hear, what you let be your nourishment. Now, again, a lot of people are a little freaked out and they want to be on top of things. They don't want to miss the next big news item. My suggestion to you is to watch your intake of media. You have sort of two operating systems, probably three, but two operating systems I want to talk about in your brain. One is the amygdala. Some people have heard of this, the amygdala hijack. That fight or flight response, which is activated and sends an ocean of hormones through your whole body. It's designed to save your life, but it can get overactivated and can hijack even the most peaceful moment simply by what you put your attention on. So when you notice you're imagining something stressful, your amygdala doesn't know the difference between real or imagined stressors and will respond in like kind to be able to prepare you for the inevitable, even if it's in your imagination. So a lot of us are used to having the amygdala hijack. A lot of us are used to being turned on to stress and ready for anything. As a matter of fact, quite often, we kind of see the world as if it's not a friendly place, and especially during these times of pandemics, which are rare and hopefully not frequent, that we start to see the world as a threat and everyone in it. Everything is happening to you. Albert Einstein once said, the most important question each one of us needs to ask ourselves is this universe a friendly place? Is this universe a friendly place? Now, if you are frightened, if you are stressed, if you don't even recognize that you're already bracing yourself for the next wave of bad news, the world is not a friendly place. And sometimes we don't even know we've made that decision. What if you decided, and you can decide right now, that this universe is a friendly place? What if everything is happening for you rather than to you? It's just an opportunity to take a look. You don't have to adopt it if it doesn't feel right. But what happens if it's that way? So I'm going to invite you, I found this beautiful poem today, and I'm going to invite you to close your eyes. And if you're not operating heavy machinery. And I'm going to read it to you. It's by John O'Donohue, and some of you know him as a poet, a theologian, a philosopher. He's from Ireland. He died in 2008, but he wrote some gorgeous books, Anam Cara, which means soul friend, Blessing the Space Between Us, and I have another book here called Beauty, the Invisible Embrace. This is about fatigue and finding your way back to peace. And I'm going to base our conversation today on this poem, but I invite you to close your eyes. I invite you to deepen your breath. I invite you to find the support that's here right now, whether it's in the company of those of us on the call with you, or the support that you're provided by that chair or cushion, wherever you're seated. And here are the wise words from John O'Donohue. When the rhythm of the heart becomes hectic, time takes on the strain until it breaks. Then all the unattended stress falls in on the mind like an endless increasing weight. The light in the mind becomes dim. Things you could take in your stride before now become laborsome events of will. Weariness invades your spirit. Gravity begins falling inside you, dragging down every bone. The tide you never valued has gone out, and you're marooned on unsure ground. Something within you has closed down, and you cannot push yourself back into life. You've been forced to enter empty time. The desire that drove you has relinquished. There is nothing else to do now but rest and patiently learn to receive the self you have forsaken in the race of days. At first, your thinking will darken, and sadness takes over like listless weather. The flow of unwept tears will frighten you. You've traveled too fast over false ground, and now your soul has come back to take you back. Take refuge in your senses. Open up to all the small miracles you rushed through. Become inclined to watch the way of rain when it falls slow and free. Imitate the habit of twilight, taking time to open the well of color that fostered the brightness of day. Draw alongside the silence of stone until its calmness can claim you. Be excessively gentle with yourself. Learn to linger around someone of ease who feels they have all the time in the world. Gradually, you will return to yourself, having learned a new respect for your heart and the joy that dwells far within slow time. So with your eyes closed, allow whatever has stirred up the stress in you or struck the chord of fear in you to come into your awareness. And name whatever that is. Get to know this so-called enemy, whether it's fear of mortality, fear of not having enough, fear of safety or sadness or loneliness. Invite it in and name it. By naming these emotions, we lessen the power. We become a little more intimate with them. Most of us spend our days rushing so that we don't feel our feelings. We don't savor the beauty or the pain. But now is the time. We can't buy anything. We can't go to a bar. We can't drink it away. We can't spend it away. We can't stay busy enough. And we're here to face what's inside. Talk to yourself like a little boy or girl and say, honey, I know you feel this way. What I can tell you is this too shall pass. This too shall pass. Today we're going to find the sanctuary inside. We're going to find the sanctuary from the storm, from the stress, from the fear. And we're going to look for small and apparent miracles that are happening right now. Because what I do know is the power of your attention is very potent. And what you look for, you will find. Whether you're looking for a grievance or a miracle. Whether you're looking for something to complain about or something to be grateful for. So take a moment now with your eyes closed or open and consider what you're grateful for. It could be something very large or very small, but whatever shows up in the screen of your awareness, allow it to come, whether it be a person, place, or thing, a pet, a memory, a dream. And as each one arises in your awareness, silently bow to it and say thank you. We'll practice this for a few more moments. And not forgetting the way the earth nourishes us, or the way that people that are unseen are working on your behalf to sustain your life. Noticing how you feel as you move into the awareness of gratitude. And noticing that what you put your attention on can completely change how you're feeling. I invite you now to bring your attention to your breath. Notice the way it moves in and out of your body without trying to change it or make it perfect. Letting it be as it is. Noticing the inhale, becoming curious about the pause before the exhale begins. Feeling the warmed breath on the exhale and noticing the pauses between each and every breath. Whenever the mind wants to drift into the future, come back here where your life is. Keep coming right back here to where life is happening, where your breath is, where your body is. Become in charge of your attention before it gets hijacked by a fear. Dropping your awareness now to the center of your chest. Maybe noticing the way your breastbone moves up and down with the breath. Being sure your body's soft as you let the breath naturally move in and out. And just behind your breastbone, I invite you to allow yourself to spend some time in your heart center, the center point of you. You might see, feel, or imagine a light or a warmth. You might not feel anything at all. Just allowing your attention to drop into that heart center. And if you like, you can imagine your breath moving in and out from the heart center itself, like there's a doorway. And if you are visual, you might even imagine there's a light that gets brighter and brighter with each breath. The light of your awareness, the light of love. And I'll invite you now to silently ask yourself a question. Who am I outside of my roles and responsibilities, my fears, my age, my concerns, my relationships? Who am I really? Ask yourself a few times and then return to the heart-centered breath. Don't worry if an answer doesn't meet the question. It's important to ask yourself the question in any case. The next question you can ask yourself is, how can I best love myself? How can I best love myself through the challenges that are facing me today or any time? How can I best love myself? And the final question for this practice is, how can I best serve? Whether it's my next door neighbor, my community, other people, how can I best serve in the midst of this crisis? And letting those questions go and any answers that might have met them, you can return your attention to your breath, becoming aware of the inhale and the exhale. We'll meditate like this for a couple of minutes. It's okay if your mind wanders, just bring it on back here, remembering this is a practice. And be kind to yourself. I'll keep track of the time. And I'm going to read the last part of this poem once again. You have traveled too fast over false ground. Now your soul has come to take you back. Take refuge in your senses. Open up to the small miracles you rushed through. Become inclined to watch the way of rain when it falls, slow and free. Imitate the habit of twilight, taking time to open the well of color that fostered the brightness of day. Draw alongside the silence of stones until the calmness can claim you. Be excessively gentle with yourself. Stay clear of those vexed in spirit. Learn to linger around someone of ease who feels they have all the time in the world. Gradually, you will return to yourself, having learned a new respect for your heart and the joy that dwells far within slow time. I invite you to deepen your breath and take some time before opening your eyes as you become aware of the sounds around you, the space around you, the light around you as it shines through your eyelids. Become aware of the miracle of your body, the miracle of this life, and dwell in the deep restfulness that meditation can bring. It is what optimizes the immune system. It is what can make the difference between having a good day and having a stressful day. I'm really enjoying my time with you. You can open your eyes all the way if you like. You know, I have just a few little pointers for you if you'd like. You know, it is a time of finding that sanctuary inside and the sanctuary that does exist, that garden outside your window, whether it's just a bush or a tree or a blade of grass. Becoming more enamored with this earth and her beauty and how she loves you and supports you. Keep the company of plants and animals who really love you. You're not looking at them. They're loving you. And they'll take you back to your wholeness. The clouds, the sky, the light, the shadows, the wind, all of it is calling you forth to slow down and take stock of what's important to you. Of course, I'm going to suggest you wash your hands, take lots of vitamin C, elderberry flowers. You know, I was in the store today and everybody's buying soda and chips and they're not buying, there's no one in this health food section. I mean, there's tons of beautiful immune boosting herbs. And do your research. Hey, you've got some time probably. Take some time and look into what will support your immunity. What will help you to remember wholeness and health. Meditation is a beautiful way to create a new normal. One where you're responsive and not reactive. One where you're mindful and savoring your life rather than rushing through to the next hit, the next ding on your phone, the next like on your Facebook post. Spend time on what really matters. And if you know you want to turn the next few days, if you're not going to work, into a retreat, you know, get some good sleep, take a bath. Notice what you take in through your senses and avoid that which creates that stress response. Take good care of that body. Take good care of that life. Only you can do it. Only you can decide what you're going to pay attention to. Somebody asked about that John O'Donohue poem. The way I found it was I looked it up online with the first few words. The question, they didn't give me the name, but it says, when the rhythm of the heart becomes hectic, time takes on the strain until it breaks. And I think it's a poem for the weary or a poem for the exhausted, but I'm going to post it in our messages here. Yes, we always do see what we're looking for. I'm looking at some of your notes here. Be intentional about your intention. Your attention is a currency. That's why they call it pay attention. You only have so much bandwidth of your attention. And so don't squander it. Do not squander your attention. And if you want to look at it even deeper, ask yourself, what is the source of what is looking through my eyes? What is the source of my attention? And if you look deeply, you'll find that the source of your attention is love. It is the love that lives through you as you. And it is pure and unadulterated love. Of course, Attention can have all kinds of filters that you put on it. Like you can put a filter on clear light and make it red or blue or green. Attention's like that. You can put a filter on your attention, but your unadulterated, gentle attention is love. And if you consider that everything you look at, everything you pay attention to, you are loving, you start to really value and become aware of how you spend your attention, that currency of love. Thank you so much. Engage gratitude. If the only thing you ever prayed was the word thank you, that will take you out of fear and help you to change that perspective on life is happening to me to life is happening for me. So I'm going to invite anyone who needs to leave, feel free. We've been together for a little while. For those of you who want to stay, you can unmute yourself and share. I'm happy to stay with you for the next 15 or so minutes. Share whatever's coming up for you, whatever you'd like.
Thank you for your meditation.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thanks for being part of my Sangha, the community.
Yes. Yes, well, I got a lot out of what you said about hijacking the amygdala. My employment industry has taken a huge hit as a result of the measures taken for social distancing. I'm in the entertainment industry, so shows are getting closed left and right, and I've essentially lost 90% of my income in a matter of days. So I've been very stressed about it, and that's not helping me sleep or keeping healthy. I saw your email, and I know I needed to do something. I find it very difficult to practice when I'm in stress. So it was very helpful to be led through a meditation. So thank you for being there.
You're welcome. I'm sorry that you're going through this. I mean, it's such an unstable time, but there is some stability, and it is that sanctuary in your heart, I think many of us have been scrambling. Some of us get to be lucky enough to do what we love. I don't know if you're one of them. And yet then we have to change our whole lifestyle. But yet there's some beauty in it because we get to spend time in this home that we've created, that we've worked so hard to create, and work so hard to decorate or work so hard to make special for ourselves. And I think you can go around, what I've done is go around and literally thanked my lamps and my windows and my doorknobs, my sinks and my toilets. I mean, I literally live in this state of gratitude. I mean, I'm not a Pollyanna, I get angry just like anybody else at stupidity or ignorance. However, I can quickly right the ship. I'm not going to ignore that I feel a certain way. Like I invited you to recognize what's happening here. But on the other hand, you get to decide, okay, I'm angry, I'm going to feel that. And then I get to change what I'm focusing on. Also, what I've also heard in the past, and I appreciate it, is the sentiment that worry is a negative prayer. So we can be prepared. We can wash our hands. We can spend our money wisely if you even can spend it if you have to go out. You can ask for help too. Kevin, I don't know if you've asked anyone for help yet. Maybe you don't feel like you need it, but ask for help. Put it on your Facebook page. I'm going to be sincere. And people will often respond. I mean, we have a local community here. It's just our neighborhood. I just moved into this neighborhood about 1.5 years ago. And, people are asking, they drop their phone, and people are giving them their phone, and people are needing somebody to get them cat food. And, people are stepping up because I think people want to do something to help and don't know how to do it. So sometimes asking for help is the hardest thing, but you're giving so many people the opportunity to help you. So I don't know if that rings true for you, but it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to be scared. And sometimes the pain gets so great that it takes us home to our practice. It takes us home to committing to finding that sanctuary inside when the world is ever changing, to find that peace that's inside us. Yeah.
Yes, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
And yet,
You're welcome.
and yes,
Mhm.
and yes, I have been open to receiving help. It's mostly been from my family, and in terms of both just being there of support for on the phone, but also some financial assistance. Um, so I don't like it. I don't like um, needing to rely on financial assistance. But I have been open to letting the people who love me during this time.
Yeah, that is beautiful. I'll let you love me. I'll let you love me, right? I mean, the trees let you love them, your dog or your cat or your friends let you love them. So it goes both ways. Let everyone love you. Let everyone love you. It's beautiful. Thanks for being so open and sharing that. Both of my stepkids are in the entertainment industry, and one of them, of course, all of his shows got canceled. He does do a few things on internet, but it's a time of recalibration. It's a time of really figuring out your priorities. It's a time of connecting to people maybe you haven't called in a long time because you've been so busy as a human doing rather than a human being. So it's a great opportunity to explore what's important to you. So thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else that would like to share? Someone asked, is there an archive of my meditations? I will send, if you want, and I'm not a self-promoter, but I do have a professional Facebook page where I will post the link to this meditation. Also, on my YouTube page, there are meditations. You could I'll put my name in here. It's Sarah McLean, SarahMclean. And sometimes it's under McLean Meditation. It will probably be either on my YouTube channel or my Facebook page, professional page, Sarah McLean. And I think I have 50 meditations on my YouTube page. So feel free. Also, there's a great resource for free meditations called Feast for the Soul. It's an organization I run. Feast for the, I'm typing to, let me do it to everyone. There we go. Feast for the Soul. You can Google that. There's an online program. It has hundreds and hundreds of meditations free of charge by so many beautiful teachers from all kinds of religious and spiritual traditions. I'm going to go ahead and put my name on here. And I'm going to go ahead and put the first few lines of John O'Donohue's prayer on here because I guess I was sending it privately to somebody. Anyway, is there anyone else that would like to share what's going on for them?
Sarah, this is PJ.
Hey, PJ.
And I just want to thank you. You keep things so basic. And I just, through your words, I feel already to really proud and to I remember, what was it you used to say in the morning? We rise, we pee, and then we meditate.
Oh, RPM, rise, pee, meditate. It's actually not something I used to say, but it's not my quote. It's from somebody at the Chopra Center. I mean, get your meditations in. This is a great time to do it. And it's really self-care 101. It's actually radical self-care. Get that morning routine right. Before you get out of bed and rush into doing mode, take a moment. It's that beautiful moment of transition between sleeping and waking, and make some commitments to yourself. I often commit to being kind. I commit to being grateful. And I commit to being present. And so you can make whatever. You can say, I commit to being healthy or of service or creative or silent, whatever it is. But making those morning resolve, resolutions, vows. It's a very important time before you get hijacked by your to-do list or Facebook or the news. You know, it's you, it's your life, it's your time, and you're the only one who can be in charge of your attention. And everybody wants your attention. Yeah. Because it's a very powerful currency. If people want your attention, it's because they want you to do something. They want you to love them, buy something, market to you. They want you to take an action. Listen, you're the one in charge of your attention. It's all up to you. And you get to decide, I'm not listening to that, or I want to listen to that. But be mindful, conscious about what you allow into your awareness, and keep the company of unvexed souls, you know. That will always serve you.
Thank you, Sarah. Namaste.
You're welcome, PJ. Good to see you.
Very much.
Is there anyone else that would like to share?
Sarah.
Hi.
This is Tom in Wisconsin. I left you a bunch of messages. I just want to say for everybody here, you know, your technique is absolutely beautiful, and your method is I practice exactly the same method as you practice. Mine's developed over the course of 20 years of shamanic practice in seeking the truth. But I absolutely affirm everything you're doing, every word you've said. You can see a bunch of stuff in the post there. And so keep up the good work. I did the Feast for the Soul. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. You're doing an awesome job. Thank you for everything you're doing. Thank you.
Oh, you're so sweet. Well, thank you for thanking me. And thank you for your, you know, thank you for just holding down the peace wave over there. You know, each one of us has a ripple effect. And even if you think it's not important, even if you think you're not a meditation teacher, or you don't think you know what you're doing, each one of us has an effect on the others. It's a resonance, it's a ripple effect. And, you know, stress is a contagion, but so is peace. You know, fear is a contagion, but so is love. So if you can be the peace you want to see in the world, and that's not just something that Gandhi said, it is an actual way of being, you will have a direct effect on the people around you who count on you, who you interact with, even if it's someone at a gas station or someone that you, even a telemarketer who might have a chance to call you while you're home. You know, can you be kind? Can you be peaceful? Can you be present? That's the goal. And, you know I heard my husband was telling me, because I don't watch the news, but my husband was telling me that not only is there a run on toilet paper, there's a run on ammunition. Now, for me, that feels like people don't know what to do with their fear. They don't know what to do with their anxiety, with their mortality, with their awakening to mortality. And, you know, I'm not seeking ammunition. I'm seeking peace. I'm a peace-seeking missile. And I think each one of us can be that way. And I'm compassionate to those who think that that may be the only way to navigate a pandemic, but there are other ways that I'm sure of. So,
could I throw one more thing in there? I would just encourage you to use the word intention. You've spoken around intention, and I focus very, very strongly on intention and the power of intention. And so using intention when you first get up, it's just a little different word, but I think it's a very, very important word. And I'm sure you used it in some of your writing, but I just want to give voice to that right here, right now, because to me, it's so important. The power of the mind in intention. Thank you.
Yeah, well, intention's not any good if you don't have attention. So for me, I take vows, which I feel like are intention on steroids. I make commitments, and intentions are very important. I think each one of us on this call had some, maybe even implied intention. I don't know what it is, but if you look into your heart, each one of us that's on this call, you know, each one of us has an intention that we didn't necessarily even put our attention on. And every time you sit down to meditate or do your spiritual practice, that intention is like a seed that is being watered, and inherent in every intention is the intelligence for it to be made manifest. So yes, you can call it intention. I call it commitments and vows. You can call it whatever you want, but it is all about your heart and your sankalpa. That's the Sanskrit word for that intentional aspect of your practice. But each one of us has it, whether we've been made aware of it or not. whether it's for health, healing, love, connection, whatever it may be. Thanks, Tom. Anyone else care to share?
Hi, I just wanted to say that I participated in the 40-day Feast for the Soul also, and I've done it for years, but this year it was deeper, more consistent, and it occurred to me yesterday that the practice that I set up during those 40 days is totally helping me get through what we're going through right now. I was on a call with some people I'm in community with yesterday talking about, our feelings and how we're coping. And, a couple of us shared that, we're home now, we've got all these to-do lists, and I can't get to the to-do list. And somebody said to me, maybe you're not supposed to, Sherry. Maybe you're supposed to just go within, sit in the garden, hold that space, help the consciousness around whatever's trying to come through. And then my mind went back to, oh yeah, I did that for 40 days. I'm doing that now. I can do the more of that. So when I saw the message for today, I thought, okay, this is what I'm doing,
Yeah.
So
put it on your to-be list.
There you go. I like that. Thank you.
Well, thanks for being here. And yeah, this is the kind of, we can all be spiritual and everything's going your way. It's really easy for me to be spiritual living in a monastery. It's really easy when it's all set up for you like that, Someone else is taking care of the gardening, the trash and everything. I was the cook, so I was cooking. But, it's easy when you're sequestered. It's not so easy when there's mass hysteria. It's not so easy when, you get a diagnosis or you lose a loved one. So this is when the spiritual practice sort of can arise and meet your life. And some of us don't know that. I mean, I know for sure it's taken me many years. I've been meditating for over 30 years. And, I sometimes would forget everything when I was mad or heartbroken or diagnosed. And, this is the time it works. And quite often these times are also very pivotal in people's lives in terms of waking up to themselves and finding a new way of being, because the old way is not working, whether it's shopping, drinking, keep it extra busy, overscheduling, whatever it may be. Then they realize, gosh, this is not sustainable. So these are times when people can start adopting a practice, or also it can be a time when you let go of your practice. So for me, I was the opposite. I started because I was upset in my life as a young girl. But then my practice would leave me when I was really needing it the most. So it's perfectly normal. Each one of us has our own journey with falling in love with meditation and mindfulness and our practice. And I always think of it like a lover who always wants you back, no matter how long you've been gone. So even if you've missed a few days of meditation or prayer, it wants you back. And it's always going to welcome you with open arms.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for being part of the Feast for the Soul. Feastforthesoul.org. It's free and it's beautiful. Yeah. Is there anyone else that would like to share? We have a few more minutes here. 4. Anyone else care to share? So nice to be with you. Well, if you'd like, you can join me tomorrow, same time. We have a noontime meditation, and that's 3 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, with Reed Cowan, one of a beautiful meditation teacher out of Las Vegas, who is also an Emmy Award-winning newscaster. Really excited about him. And we'll probably keep this going for a while if we keep having people joining us. So feel free to share with your friends that we're doing this. I think it's really supportive. If you have any ideas for what we want to cover, feel free to email me. I'll actually put my email in the chat box. It's McLeanMeditation@gmail.com. McLeanMeditation@gmail.com. And I'd love to stay in touch with you. And let's just call it a day, shall we? Why don't you, if you can, tomorrow morning, remember that moment. Remember that, what do we call it? The ambrosia hour. That time, that ambrosia moment between the time you wake up from your deep, restful sleep that you've been disconnected from all your worries, and before you jump out of bed into your to-do list, take a moment to be, to commit, to make a vow, to set an intention. And then we'll see you tomorrow if you can make it. And I'll record this, like I said, I'll put it on my Facebook page, and I will add it to YouTube. I didn't even think to do that. So thank you all so much for being here. And instead of the Ebola elbow, I will offer you the namaste. I bow to that within you that is the same within me, that divine spark, that love that lives through you as you, and the same love that lives through me as me. Thank you all. Namaste.